Red carpet.
रेडियो ऑलिव 106.3 FM अनिरुद्ध आपके साथ है। द शो इज कॉल्ड रेड कार्पेट। सीजन 2 में बहुत खास मेहमान आने वाले हैं हमारे रेडियो ऑलिव में। However, right now let's talk about today's guest. We have P. Mohd Shabeeb with us. He's a life coach and executive director of BNI Qatar. BNI के बारे में of course I'm sure you know about it, especially if you run a business. I'm sure you know about BNI. BNI के बारे में बातें करेंगे, शबीब की लाइफ जर्नी के बारे में बात करेंगे, लेकिन उसके पहले let me introduce him well. Shabeeb is a certified life coach and trainer. He is a computer science engineer and he specializes in goal setting, sales training, product focus creation, corporate roadmap alignment among partners, and personal coaching for decision makers within the organization. He comes with 17 years of experience in various industries such as IT, general trading, security systems, and business networking. And he's, as I mentioned earlier, the executive director of Business Network International, that's BNI Qatar. Welcome to the show, Shabeeb.
Thank you, Anuradha. Thank you for having me. I'm really appreciative of the initiatives Radio Olive is taking and bringing information to the audience and giving them inspiration on moving ahead in life by sharing stories of people that you find interesting. And I'm really happy that you found me interesting enough to be here.
Of course you are. Thank you so much. It's an honor for us as well.
You're welcome.
Shabeeb, tell me about your journey. You came to Qatar when you were 3 months old.
Yes, my dad started working in Qatar, if I remember right, in 1979.
Wow.
So he's been employed by Kahrama, the state electricity department, for almost 35 years. He retired on December 31st last year.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a long journey, and at one point of time, he basically towards the end, he was in charge of the entire electrical network in Qatar.
Wow.
So for me, life was always around the engineering industry. My dad was really good in imbibing the basics of engineering, changing plug points, wiring up things when I was very young. So I was a very hands-on person. Growing up in Qatar, back in the 80s and 90s, it's not what you see today.
Yeah, obviously.
Going out was a luxury because for dinner and all was a luxury because you didn't have any much options.
Yeah.
The only options here was Star of India or Maza restaurant, if I remember right. Yeah, these two were the restaurants that were there available at that time. Nowadays, kids are like out all the time with their friends. For us, going out once a year was a big thing. So, nice place to grow up in, balanced view of the world. But yes, when I graduated my high school and went over to India to do my engineering, there was a sense of freedom that came in along with the package doing my engineering. It was amazing.
Yeah, being alone, away from the family. So
in a sense, I was homesick, but then there was a sense of freedom also. Hit back in some ways, but you know how the life in college works out, right? And all of us have gone through that phase.
Yeah, of course.
So Qatar was good growing up, and my kids are enjoying it right now here because I have settled back here with my wife and kids.
Super.
My parents are still here. My brother, my sister, all of them work in Qatar.
Very lucky for you. Yeah, of course.
And on my mother's side and father's side, almost all of us are here. My dad's 3 brothers are here. My mother's 3 brothers are here. So the way I put it across is, if I call a big party of my mother's family and my dad's extended family, first cousins, it's almost 500 people that come into the hall.
Wow.
So
it's like an Indian wedding.
we can do a big Indian wedding in Qatar, just with the people in Qatar.
Nice. I think your family can hold the title of the biggest joint family in Qatar, maybe.
You could. So my family name is very unique.
Right.
So my full name is P. Mohd Shabeeb, and P stands for Pandaleni Tarail.
Okay.
Now I know it's very difficult to pronounce.
Yeah, for me especially.
Don't worry. Even for everybody, I go into the clinic, and they have a challenge because on the cards they print the first name, the family name first.
Right.
So I had to train myself to respond to the word Panta. Instead of Shabeeb, because that's all they could pronounce.
Right.
They reach Panta and they get stuck. then I have to keep myself tuned to it. So even in the immigration and all. But when you go there and you check out this family name, you'll see literally there are I would say around 120 people with the same family name.
Oh wow!
And then my dad's family name is a separate branch, so that's got a lot of people. So
fascinating,
huge bunch of family people in Qatar.
And this year, I think you and your family would be very special because it's Qatar India Year of Culture. So,
yes.
I mean, you guys have lived here and seen both cultures together.
It's great to see this country appreciating the contribution of the Indian community with this Qatar Indian Drive. And over the last 2 years, we have been able to get the right traction and be appreciated of the efforts that's put in by people like my dad, a lot of other people who's worked in the ministries, and taken and been a part of the progress of this country, and the vision of the leadership, Sheikh Tamim, the Emir of Qatar, as well as his father before that, has been an amazing aspect of our lives, because it's influenced life decisions for us. Coming back to Qatar was a big thing for me in my career, because I want to stay back in India, but then the way Qatar was progressing, a lot of opportunities were there. And you have to give it to the ruling family in terms of the vision that they carry and the way they want to bring up everyone along with the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the communities. That's an amazing aspect. And that's what keeps Qatar close to all our hearts.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. Shabeeb, in case a few people might not know what a life coach does, what does a life coach do?
You know, what happens in our lives is basically how we react to our the incidences that happen in our life.
Right.
The best way of putting it across is, if you're walking by a specific scene of two people fighting.
Right.
Now, you don't know what they're fighting on, and you're just a spectator. You just forget it the moment you pass on. If it's something that the security in the mall has to get involved, and for the security, it's about containing that incident, making sure things are taken care of. But for the people who are involved in it, they're oblivious to what's happening around them. Absolutely. They are only looking at each other's ego. Basically, it's about how they react to that situation. So all of us basically are programmed in a specific way from our experiences in our childhood, in our professional career, in our college life, from the way we have been conditioned to react to the specific incidents in our life in different ways. I might react to something differently from how you react.
Absolutely.
How I react might not be something that will give me a positive way ahead. Many people struggle with these kind of situations where they take decisions based on how they feel, but not based on what is happening in front of them.
Absolutely.
It's their reaction to what is happening in front of them that fuels their decision. The decisions become diluted. It might not be the ideal one. It might be something that is too heavy. A life coach basically brings things into perspective by asking questions to the person and making them think outside the box. Bring a different perspective. Opening up the gates. So what we say famously is that if you have only one option, you're stuck. If you have two options, you're in a dilemma. If you have three or more options to choose from, you basically have freedom of choice. And that's the best way to be in, because always when you go into a situation where you have to take a decision, try to find three ways or more where you can take decisions and find the best out of that, because that's what will make it easier for you to move ahead in life.
Lovely.
When people ask me, what's the most basic service that you give, what I tell them is spend 90 minutes with a life coach before you take a very important decision in your life. It will open up perspectives for you, and you will literally be relieved that you have spent that time.
Wow, beautiful. What do people generally struggle with? On an average, like people you consult, people you help out?
It starts from something very simple as speaking on the stage to phobias like spider phobia, lizard phobia. People who are scared of lizards, and then it comes with people who are unable to manage stress, people who are stuck in their businesses in a loop which they are not able to exit because they're not able to find a way out. So basically, whatever may be the situation, you are stuck with a reaction that is not conducive to your well-being, mental and physical. That's the time that you should be looking at a life coach as an option.
Wow.
It's not that they will have all the solutions. What we believe as a life coach is that we do not have the solution. The solution is within you. It's just that you have to cut away the layers that is hiding the solution from you.
You need to peel the onion.
You need to peel the onion and go back to the core. Because the layers is basically your feelings, your emotions, your conditioning, and all those things that's built over the years.
That's true.
You just have to navigate the map in the right way. It's very interesting when you look at, for example, just take Google. A few years back, when you take Google, it just gives you one route. Now, what has happened is it's become so intuitive that it looks at other people's feedback. And then it tells you if you take this route. While I was driving here, I was like, there's 1 minute slower. There's a 1 minute faster route. As you go ahead, you're like, okay, let me take this 1 minute faster.
Absolutely.
The reason that option opened up to me because someone opened up it to me. The Google opened it to me. And that's why I know that I can reach a 1 minute faster, 5 minutes faster. The same way, a life coach helps you open up that options which was hidden to you because you were only looking at the blue line. But then suddenly there's a gray line which comes here. Like there's an option here you could take this.
Right.
It might be faster.
Right.
There's an option here. It might be slower.
Yeah.
So that was a life coach. It's all about you, what you have within you, just that you just have to peel off the layers.
Right. But does paradox of choice come into the picture? Does it create more problems because people have more choices?
Sometimes it does. And usually what we understand is that is basically again a problem with your perspective. So many people say that, when you have too many options, it becomes a problem because you dwell on the options.
Yeah.
And that is something that you need to speak to your life coach again, because the reason you're doing that could be because earlier in your life, you had similar situations where you were conditioned by someone telling you. Only question I ask you is, who told you that? So someone told you that having too many choices is difficult. You'll find it difficult to take decisions.
Right.
Someone told you that. And then you carry it in your mind for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then you are like, no, I don't need too many choices. You're limiting yourself just because someone told that.
Right.
Who told you that?
Yeah, got you. Shabeeb, tell me more about BNI.
So BNI, as we like to call ourselves, is the biggest referral organization in the world.
Okay.
We generate referrals
Okay.
for your business. It was started off 35 years ago by an amazing visionary, the founder of BNI and the chief visionary officer right now, as we call him, Dr. Ivan Meissner.
Okay.
35 years ago, he's a consultant. He was a sales consultant. He used to specialize in cold calls. And as he says, he trained people so much on cold calls that he didn't want to make a cold call ever in his life. Again, realizations, right?
Yeah,
and then what happened is going got tough. He lost one of his biggest customers, and midlife crisis, mortgages to pay and things.
Yeah.
So then he looks at a way to get more business, and then what he decided was to bring together his friends in the neighborhood, his professional colleagues in the neighborhood, and put them in a room. The important thing that happened was he didn't allow any competition in the room. Essentially because he didn't want any competition in the room. So he didn't call any other consultant. He only called one electrician. He only called one supplier for building materials. So everyone was an individual from their specific industry. And he started talking about who he is looking for as a customer. And surprisingly, one of the persons in the room was able to help him meet his next biggest customer. The seed of the idea started from there,
Right.
where he made it into a regular weekly meeting with an agenda and so on. The people who came in the first meeting decided to join. Initially, it was known as a network.
Right.
And then what happened is a few people from across the town started hearing about this meeting. They came to the meeting. They said, we want to join. But then they had this clause that competition is not allowed.
Yeah.
Then they started their own chapter.
Right.
And from that one chapter 35 years ago, right now, BNI is there in 74 countries.
Wow.
There are 9,016 chapters as of last week in existence.
Wow.
That means there is 9,016 meetings happening around the world every week.
Yeah.
So in a year, BNI holds approximately 500,000 meetings.
Right.
And we bring together 254,000 businesses.
Wow.
And each of these chapters, as we call them, have people from one specific industry, one person from one industry.
That's right.
There are chapters as small as 17 to chapters of size of 135 members in India.
Wow.
So India is growing very fast. We are there in 63 cities, around 550 chapters with 30,000 members.
Wow.
So it's been an exponential increase in India. Like in this last 7 years, India has really caught up.
Yeah.
And BNI is catching up very well. In Qatar, we are like right now 4 chapters with 150 members.
Wow.
In the last 1 year, we have generated 120 million riyals of business through referrals for our members.
Nice.
We know it because we track it. The first 4 years of our so BNI in Qatar is 5 years old, or I'd say 5 years young, because the first 4 years we did 120 million. And the last 1 year alone, we did 120 million. So we did what we did in the first 4 years in the last 1 year.
That's a massive growth.
There's a massive growth in terms of closed business, and we are looking at much more massive growth in the coming years.
Fabulous.
What happened is I was a member in BNI, and then I became the executive director, and it's a franchise model. So me and my wife, we own the franchise for Qatar. We have registered on the Qatar Financial Center as a unique business category, which is authorized to start business associations. And we basically help members make more money out of the time they invest in networking. So everyone knows that networking is important for your business, but then you go to those usual networking meetings where it's evening, and people just talk about business over munchies and a couple of beverages, and then you just collect a few cards and you walk away. Accountability is zero. The drive to success is basically over there. Everyone's trying to sell to each other. Right, but nobody's ready to buy. So if you look at it, when you go into a networking meeting, we go there trying to find buyers. But we fail to realize that everyone here is trying to sell. So who's there to buy?
Right.
So the uniqueness about BNI again is we do not put you in a room of buyers. We put you in a room of people who know your buyers.
Yeah.
And you're educating these people about who is an ideal buyer for you. And so let's say that you know someone I want to meet. And I'm explaining, I'm a travel agent.
Right.
I'm telling you that I sell holiday packages for honeymooners with exclusive villas and over the water in Maldives. And then I make an ask saying that I'm looking for newly wed couples who are trying to find that special experience to start off their married life.
Right.
And then you suddenly say, hey, Shabeeb, I know my cousin brother who's getting married next month. Why don't I put you across? What happened is, just think there are 50 other people in the room.
Yeah.
All of them know people who are going to get married.
Right.
When I explain my product to them and then I make this ask, immediately all these people communicate to me that they know this person, and my sales increases to an extent where I do not have to make 50 cold calls.
Yeah.
The person you introduced to me is already spoken to by you.
Yeah.
And they know I'm going to call.
Yeah.
I am your friend who's going to call them. So I'm calling the friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Sales happen much faster.
Lovely.
And your cost of customer acquisition, that's what we call it, comes down.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Coming to your experience working across so many industries, what are the key learnings or what is the key takeaway that you've experienced across your career?
So one of the things that I have always told business people is, many a time I have seen people crib about their profit and loss and balance sheet. Like literally, if you ask a business owner, do you like reading your balance sheet and profit and loss? The good ones will say they enjoy it. The ones who you feel are struggling will say, it's a bad thing, man. I do not like spending time with my accountant or my financial advisor when it comes to balance sheet. So what I tell people is, you really have to understand that the old saying that your best friends should be like mirrors.
Yeah.
They should tell you what's the problem with you.
Yeah.
And they should be very unanimous about telling you what is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because they think the best about you. Your balance sheet and your profit and loss statements do the same thing.
Yeah.
So they show you what's wrong and what you need to correct.
Yeah.
The important thing is you have to open up to the fact that you have to treat them as your best friends.
Yeah. Lovely.
And then when you do that, there's a lot of things that these two documents can tell you about your business. And a big eye opener for me was when someone explained to me, a great trainer by the name of Sridhar Sampath, when I did a training with him. And I will say, anybody who's not comfortable with finance, it's called the Finance for Non-Finance Managers. And it's done by many companies. The training is done by many organizations, but do it with a very good trainer.
Wow.
Because that really will open up your eyes. Especially for me, an eye opener was when I was explaining how depreciation works. Many people don't like depreciation, right?
Yeah.
Because it removes value from your profit.
Yeah.
Then I ask people, so where does the money that goes from your profit for depreciation go? It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Depreciation is basically an insurance for you to build up enough money to buy a new car after 5 years.
Lovely.
Yeah. Whereas people see it as, something that's taken away from the profit.
Got you.
It's a pre-adjustment to an expense that's going to come after 5 years.
Yeah.
Many people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're like, depreciation made us take this much. Depreciation actually goes into your savings.
Yeah. So true.
So people don't understand that. And, when you start understanding finance better, when you start treating your balance sheet and profit and loss statements as your best friends, that's the moment I'm telling you will open up your perceptions to how you can grow your business.
Yeah. Lovely. That's nice.
For me, that was my biggest lessons because the moment I started liking to these two documents and enjoying reading that and seeing that progress every week or every month, because many business people don't even make it till the end of the year as a regulatory requirement.
Right.
No, it's not regulatory requirement. It's just survival requirement. Do it. See the change. I'm assuring you will take better decisions.
That's quite fantastic. With you as a life coach now. So I'm going to give you a one-line problem. You have to give me a one-line solution.
Okay.
Now, these problems are generally what I've heard, what I've seen. I'm not going to say if I've faced it as well, but you'll understand the humor behind it.
Okay.
So, one-line problem from my side, one-line solution from your side as a life coach. ज़्यादा पैसा चाहिए?
किस लिए?
Well said. Okay. Boss बहुत खड़ूस है.
In your eyes, what about the eyes of your friend or your colleague?
Okay. My kids don't listen to me.
Whose kids listens to yourself? Did you listen to your dad when you were a kid?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Kids don't listen.
Okay, lovely. What career should I take?
The one which you feel you will be the most happiest with.
Lovely. I don't want to get married right now.
It's okay.
I want to be successful. What should I do?
You need to do what you need to do right now to succeed. Start now.
Last one. I don't know what to do in life. What should I do?
It's okay, because many people start off not knowing where they are going.
So true.
But then life takes you where you have to go if you are true to it.
Lovely. P. Mohd Shabeeb Saab, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I hope to come back very soon.
Radio Olive 106.3 FM पर I'll be back next Saturday on Red Carpet Season 2. Stay tuned in. Qatar का number 1 हिंदी radio station सुनते रहिए. Cheer bindas guys.
Red Carpet.